Alright, before I keep going, I'm going to take a moment to double check if there's been any questions, comments. I think a lot of the people chatting today are more Supreme Ruler side, and that's fine. One pitch I will say before I get going again, if you do pick up the game, or any of our games, and you're enjoying it, please leave us a Steam review. It really helps us out, it spreads the word within the community, and helps grow our player base so that ideally we can get more people doing multiplayer and just more discussions, more feedback to make everything better. So, and thanks to everybody who has already left reviews. Alright, so let's take stock of where we're at. If I go to the menu, I can double check what our starting date was, 2320.16, so the year 2320, 16 days in. In our game, each year is exactly 100 days. So that also makes the math easy for me to know that we have done about 260, 270 days into the campaign. In some of the testing, I had a campaign that I got about 1,500 days into the Key Seriali campaign, not quite to the end of it all. Right now, we consist of an empire, which has 20 spaceships in our home system, a handful of survey ships out in the rest of the galaxy. We have found 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18. We've got about 17 systems that we can see out of a total of 45. We've only visited a few. We have completely surveyed one, but that's because it was empty. We own our own system, of course. The blue rings around a system is an indication that a beacon is there, able for you to use. So once this beacon gets dropped off, this will get a blue ring as well. We have gotten construction complete on a bunch of stuff. In terms of enemies, we have... should be able to see that we have 2 enemy regions. Oh, actually, this count is incorrect. Let's write that down. It's all the little things. There's never an end to it. And I can tell that in this system, while it considers me the dominant in this system, there is a pirate faction and there is another major faction in that system. Here we can see that this is a contested system. If you want to know what any of this iconography is, you can go to the recon department and it will show that this is a contested system. We know that it has an inhabited, it is inhabited. One of the worlds, is this showing, is that the colony that we found, somebody's colony we encountered? I'm going to want to double check the logic of that when I'm off stream. But here we have a faction we haven't met yet. And down here there's another set of pirates that we'll need to worry about. We have a number of objectives we've been given. We've been able to complete most of them. One of the things I hadn't really shown yet was that as we meet major races in the galaxy, as soon as you've met at least one other, which for the Key Seriali, Day 0, you see the right andites. If you're playing the Enlightened campaign, initially you don't see any major factions. You'll quickly encounter the pirates, but it might be a little bit until you actually encounter one of the other major factions. When you do, this button becomes accessible for the Galactic Report. This will show you details on each of the major factions that you've met, and there will be specific campaign objectives related to each of the factions. And this helps you sort of understand your total progress through the campaigns of either full dominance or full alliances, of being able to bring everybody into a galactic council that, though I suppose the galactic council concept is more the other campaign. So each campaign plays out slightly different, but the interaction with the major factions leads to some very specific objectives and storyline to do. So for now, I'm going to run time, because I think we're about to meet another major faction, and that'll add some new stuff. We just got research breakthrough. I should check, what are we researching now? Stellar energy collectors, quantum computers. Where's this going to take us next? Oh, interstellar escorts. I definitely want those, because that'll be escorts and destroyers. That's some bigger ships. Might take a while to get there, but we'll keep researching for that. I should at this point... Oh yeah, I was sending those ships down to the pirate homeworld. Okay. We have been able to... Oh, they appear to have captured an interceptor from... Probably from the Rydandites. What's my supply level here? 84%. Okay. Oh, I'm doing that way too fast. Right now, they're actually shooting at the orbital station shipyard. I don't want to destroy those. I want to take them over at a certain point. So with all the ships selected there, I'm going to check their rules of engagement and tell them not to shoot at fortifications. As soon as I do that, they will stop shooting. But now I'm sort of going to surround the planet and blockade the pirates to make sure they're not going to cause us trouble. Next thing is going to end up being landing on the pirate homeworld. Have I got my transports yet? Attack fighters, engineer. That's the engineer that we built to replace. I guess the planetary transport still... Yeah, I only have one. Probably should build a second planetary transport. And looking at deployed stuff, I was a little concerned about some ships that are running low on energy. You go repair, because that'll get you full ammo. You as well. My blockade's not going to be as strong as I thought it was. Oh, okay, that should be fine. The rest of these, total supply, 74%. Alright, I may just have to cycle some ships off the line every now and then. Oop. That guy's running out of fuel. Or just upset about something. If we pause, we should be, because they're our ally, we should be able to inspect their unit. It's the morale. It's unhappy about how much it's been shot. If a unit is from an enemy or neutral faction, you won't be able to get quite as much information as I just pulled. Okay. Drones. Right. And that's the engineer. Drone. I've run out of survey ships here. Let's speed up time a bit. Go up a level. Oh, we completed surveying that. Oh, and there's a drone there. So, sorry, I just heard combat. Everything's fine. I'm going to want to go pick up that drone at some point. But this survey ship, there's the ring, so he's dropped the FTL beacon. Let's jump over here. Oh, we found another faction, 2 factions. What does this system look like? Oh, a lot of stuff going on here. There's nothing left to claim. I think I'm not going to unload the survey drone yet. Let's see who we can meet. I suppose there might still be some stuff worth claiming. Alright. Drone. Automate. Off you go. And I'm going to send him back here. Let's pick up this drone. Okay. We might as well drop it. Oh, somebody declared war on us. Okay, so I'm going to tell the survey ship to drop a beacon. I'm going to tell the drone, let me shut off the AI for that, tell the drone to head over here as well. Let's go see who we found. Ah, that's a pirate faction. Oh, and they're going to go for that drone any second now. Oh, pirates have really gotten around this one. Okay, I'm going to have to keep automate off for this one and see. Is that just an asteroid? Yeah. I want to try and spot without being spotted. So let's use a waypoint and send him over this way. And we'll come back to that system after. What's happening over here? Oh, the survey ship is finished. The drone is still... Did they kill my drone? Oh, I think the pirates killed my drone in the system. Okay, before I jump out, let's meet the other faction. Then I'll go back for another drone. What do we have here? Oh, that's the survey ship. Right, he's going for an FTL beacon. Home system. I've got my first stellar engineer. Okay. Oh, actually, I need to change where this guy's going. I want the beacon up here where my nav point is, where I was all happy about that. Deploy beacon up there. Tell my drone to meet him up there. I'm actually going to try, maybe my stellar engineer, he's going to arrive somewhere random. Maybe he'll be closer to the destination I wanted. Where'd he end up? Nope, that did not work. Alright, well, we'll just jump him home for now. Alright, so my stellar engineer is going to start the next colony. I have blockaded the pirates. I am building a transport ship. I have another stellar engineer. I have a drone, but no survey ship to go with it. Well, you know what? Let's try again. These two stellar engineers. One of them's got to land in a good spot. Alright, let's slow this down. Where'd they end up? Ooh! Oh, no, that's the drone. Dang it. There's an engineer. There's an engineer. Well, the brute force approach is not getting me what I wanted. I suppose I will just be patient. In the meantime, so we left that system. This one has the beacon. Alright, we're about to meet another faction. Let's speed that up a bit. Earthers have been discovered. So, what have they built? I guess they survived the pirates because they have 3 defense platforms. Alright, slow this down. So now we've been given, each time that you meet one of the factions, you're generally asked to get a consulate treaty. This gives me a chance to sort of talk about how interactions start with other factions. I'm going to let it roll, but really slow. So when you meet another faction, there is no communication initially between you and the other faction. So you need to start negotiations with a first contact treaty. That's where all negotiations begin. And whether they like you or not, which in this case we're getting the sense that they don't necessarily like us, factions will always accept first contact. Everything else, they will weigh the options. But making the first contact, it's assumed that everybody wants to at least be able to speak. Alright, so now I'll speed that up until we get the success. We've actually got a decent defense force there. I won't encroach on their territory, but oh, they have at least one colony. So Terran, those are colonies of the Earthers. I wonder if they've gotten to another system. Oh, no, they've landed on this planet. Oh, right, we have a colony where I was starting to build a power plant. Though it's probably not close to done yet. But I should remember to take a look at my colony sometime soon. Oh, first dropship built. We got that transport first, which is a carrier. Diplomatic exchange successful. That's the one I wanted. So then I will... oh yeah, from there I can't jump into a new one from there. Negotiate. After you get first contact, consulate is the one that will let you sign all the other treaties and start unlocking other forms of exchange. And that's also one of the treaties, or one of the objectives you get. And now if we look at the Galactic Council, we can see that we have completed getting a consulate treaty with the Earthers. I have a feeling they may choose to declare war on me. Yes, they really don't like me. Enlightened Pursuit. Find the Enlightenment. Main summary. Investigate the galaxy to discover the Enlightenment. Oh, okay. So yeah, the backstory is that the Earthers and the Enlightened don't like each other in this. And so eventually you're going to be forced into a choice of, are you going to support the Enlightened or support the Earthers. So I have a feeling we can at least stall this one, that they're not likely to get aggressive until the other faction has been found. Okay, that will, and again, we can always track what they expect from us by checking the Galactic Report. But I'm going to take this survey ship and go get a new drone for it. And back in my home system. Planetary transport. Okay, I'm going to use the transport in a minute because that's invading the pirate worlds. But starting with survey ship, drone, better speed up time, slow down time, grab the survey ship. Where to go next? Dangunas. I'm going to pause for just a moment to also point out that if you give an order to go to a very long distance, the ship will jump, like it will path its way to far systems if you issue that order. Oh, and we got our beacon set up, so I can actually grab this survey ship, send him home, grab these engineers. Actually, I just need, do I need both? Yeah, I probably want both in this case, and send them over here. So those have traveled in opposite directions. Okay, keep things slow. I want to go to... So a bit more discussion of how colonies work. That I'm going to leave it paused for a second. So an engineer can deploy an orbital station. Actually, I want to demonstrate that. I am definitely going to build an orbital station at this planet. I'll speed that up a little bit. So similar to deploying the outpost on the planet, putting an orbital station above the planet consumes the engineer, creates a colony. It cannot be merged with your home system because, of course, there's the jump between them. We don't want the energy and ore that's collected on one world to immediately be available on the other world. So it is a separate entity. It is a colony. I could use this engineer right now to drop an outpost on this world at the same time, though I may want to send a colony ship when I'm claiming the world. If I grab another world somewhere, if I send it over here, it's going to make another colony, especially if I have the surface and the surface, because you can't share resources over the surface. One exception we make to this rule is here where I have an orbital station. If I build another orbital station here, as long as they're adjacent at space level, two orbital stations side by side will form a single colony. And I could actually do this again with orbital stations there. Now, if I grab the surface of more than one of these, then it will be forced to separate those into separate colonies so it can manage their separation of resources. But this allows me a nice combination where I can do energy exploitation at the system level as part of one colony, which I know is also going to have a colony ship. I'm going to get population living on this world at some point relatively soon. So I built orbital stations, but the next thing I'm going to need for them to be able to ship goods back and forth, I'm going to have to build a orbital storage. And I could have technically gotten another engineering ship and done the outpost on the surface, because outposts come with a spaceport. And the spaceport and orbital storage buildings serve the exact same function. It's just that the orbital storage, of course, is built in orbit, whereas the spaceport is built on the surface of the world. So once this completes, I will be able to trade goods to my colony, and the merchant AI will manage the FTL between the systems. I won't need to micromanage moving the goods myself. Now, I did recently notice there were some players saying, oh, it might be nice to do the micromanagement. Well, turns out you can. If I click on my faction emblem to go back home, and double click to go down to the planet, it is possible to go to any commodity you want and in the market, no, sorry, in the market controls, excuse me, I can set a number of units and put that into a crate. By doing that, if I go up to system level and inspect my orbital storage, or sorry, my orbital station, that was a double click on there to bring up the pop-up, I can see that I have this crate of 2 million finished goods. I could then, if I wanted, build a FTL capable transport ship, transfer the crate from the station to the ship, fly the ship to somewhere else, unload the crate. The merchant AI allows all that movement to happen automatically, but players are allowed to do the micromanage. If there's a specific reason, a specific case, you are capable of doing that. And I should point out, one of the odd cases, or not odd, rare, one of the rare things that could occur is if a transport ship with a crate is moving and is killed, the crate doesn't get destroyed. The crate just ends up floating there in space. And anybody else who comes along can salvage the crate and get what was in it. Now, if you're transporting units, that doesn't work the same way. Units are just destroyed when the transport ship is destroyed. And here you can actually see there's other crates constantly being created, because that's how the merchant AI moves the goods around, is when you make a trade with the merchant AI, it immediately puts those goods into the crate, so it's ready for pickup when the merchant AI arrives. And you sort of have to be a little cautious about clearing some of these, because you're going to disrupt a trade and it just won't complete. You don't really get in trouble for it, it just could interrupt your supply flow. Speaking of supply flow, I want to again look at the supply chain, specifically for energy, and compare that to the resource department, energy, and our market trades. So yeah, at this point, despite the fact that the only real action we took to address energy was setting up trades and adding some power plants, our sustainable is now much higher than where it started. So energy is under control for us. There may be cases where other players start building heavily, or their starting world is particularly energy poor, where it might be tighter than that. But it looks like for this game, energy is not going to pose a big challenge for us. I want to look at that other colony. Yeah, the orbital storage is still building. I guess I'm going to have to speed that up if I want to talk more about this. Let me go back, see what's happening. No, I don't have anybody over there. How many survey ships do I have there? I have a survey ship here. No, I'm looking in the bottom two rows. Top of the bottom two rows, fourth item in shows me 0 of 1. So I know that this doesn't currently have a drone loaded on it. So I'm going to go back into the system, find, where is that survey ship? There it is. Bet you, yeah, there's a drone. Let's match those up. Take that survey ship, and you can go, let's do one of those far jumps. Let's go all the way over here, because that'll cause them to bounce through a couple of systems. Oh, over here we have a survey ship that is probably carrying a drone. Yes, so I'm going to center on that ship. I want to get the drone itself and automate that, and off he goes. Oh, he spotted an anomaly. Let's grab that anomaly. Hang on, I'm going to pause. This is an opportunity for me to show the anomalies. So they end up showing up just these green diamonds that randomly appear in space. If I speed this up, it will survey it just like it surveys anything else. %. Oh, that is a glitch that it should have stopped, so the animation should not have continued. My hope is certainly that as you guys are observing some of these things I'm writing down, I feel pretty confident saying, while the game is not perfect, the type of bugs we're running into shouldn't really be disrupting the flow of the game too much. Okay, so anomaly was surveyed. Oh, by coincidence, I guess somewhere else another anomaly was being surveyed. I'm not sure which of these two was the one that we just looked at. Discovery made of an anomaly in system Danganus. Have moved progress forward on... Okay, so it helped us with research progress. And the one that we researched somewhere else, or perhaps it gave us 2 results. I don't feel like it should have given 2 results. I will note that as well. So I got some energy and things progressed. Actually, I should take a quick save of this. This is campaign B. This is probably 002, I guess. Okay, how much more is there going to be to survey here? Oh, there's only pirates. What kind of worlds am I surveying here? You know what? I don't think I'm interested in this system. I'm going to turn off the automation for this drone, put him back on the survey ship, and go check somewhere else. In the meantime, where are we at? This survey ship. Is that right? Oh yeah, that's where I told him to go. So he made his way all the way over here. And let's center on him. Oh, gas giant, lava moon. Yeah, this is an interesting system. We will get our drone under AI control and get our survey ship to head home for a new drone. Research breakthrough. We should check our research. Yeah, we only have one thing in research. I love mechs. I like mech games. And I know that if I go through future military designs, mech chassis, I want mechs to invade on other planets. Okay, that should keep my research queue filled for a little while. At the same time, we have that transport ship. I'm actually going to go to the planet's surface. This is all the stuff we've been building. This is a set of 32 units. Okay, that's not bad. There's a few different ways to move troops between worlds. The method I like to use is I'm going to select the planetary transport, holding control on the keyboard to right-click and see all the orders. I'm going to tell him to drop. Excuse me. And I'm going to park my dropship here. Now I'm going to take these troops and turn off formation move so they go to 1 point, and control right click, load into the transport. And this is loading up with cargo. Okay, so that filled up 20 out of 30,000. I can fit a bit more stuff. I like to have a bit of goods left over in the hold of the ship, so that I know I'll have some supply when I arrive at the other world. Load into. Artillery's not too heavy. $5,000. Yeah, I like that for capacity. Okay, now I'm going to tell the transport ship launch, and up he goes back to system level. Now my planetary transport. Oh, and engineer. I'm going to need an extra engineer for my conquest plans. Oh, and I should have been building other stuff. Capital ship. Another planetary engineer. Another stellar engineer. And... oh, I've reached corvettes. Excellent. Corvette's going to allow me to capture the pirate orbital station. I should put a bunch of corvettes. So the corvettes are the first real FTL-capable combat ships that you get. So I've got a couple of those in the queue. This transport sadly move very slowly. Although, oh, this is some of my ships. They ran out of fuel on the way home. All right, we will refuel them on the way to invade this planet. And despite the fact that it's going to use up more fuel, I think I will tell my planetary transport to move at the fastest speed, just to reduce time. Because yeah, transport ships are just, they're slow moving. Compared to everything else, at least. Oh, and this engineer, let's send you over here already. I'll explain why the engineer is important once I begin the invasion. Survey ship. You come over here. Do I have any drones left? I don't. Where are my drones? Let's slow this down. Bertura. So I'm using the next previous to jump between systems. Nobody's there. Nobody's in Alimpe. Danganus. I feel like we... Oh, actually, this is one where yeah, I said I didn't care about this one. Yeah, I didn't even drop an FTL beacon. That's fine. I'm going to go up. Let's send him somewhere else. It is probably faster to just build some more drones than it is to find some drones. Although I do have my production queue a little packed right now. Alright. Always a desire to do more things at once. Where's that transport ship? Yeah, I'll keep the survey here until I can get another drone. Let's just crank up the speed. Actually, this does also let me demonstrate transport ships. Anything that has a cargo capacity means that when it encounters units that are entirely out of fuel and out of energy, which is the same thing, as they pass by, oops, we found more pirates somewhere. As they pass by, they will give those units a full load of fuel. And ammunition, actually. Which means I don't need to send these guys home anymore. I can add them to the blockade. I should check if any of these guys are starting to run low. Oh, yeah. You should go home, and you should go home, and you should go home. Or I suppose they only need to go as far as the transport ship. Oh, that was close. Okay, it's a pirate transport ship, so I'm not as concerned. But I suppose we should probably be escorting our transports. I'm being lazy about assuming that I can that I've trapped the pirates enough. Let's kill this ship. There we go. Oh, actually, probably best is to use these three. I'm going to tell them to escort the engineer. Should probably look at building more land forces. I'm probably going to want to invade in other places again later. So let's build some additional infantry, a bit more artillery. I find that tanks don't come up as much for me in the early game because when I deal with the pirates, they tend to be very clustered around their cities. And so infantry and artillery tend to be more useful. The tanks have felt more useful if I'm fighting a major faction on their homeworld and we're starting to sort of get front lines near industry, because the different types of units perform better in different, in open spaces versus urban spaces and all the rest of those. All right, where is that? How close are we? Okay. Planetary transport has arrived, and those two attack fighters should go get refueled. There we go. Add you guys to the blockade. Actually, I don't want them right on the planet. I want them beside. Engineer. Alright, let's do an invasion. Oh, I haven't actually surveyed the planet. So I can't actually go down to see the surface yet. I have to finish surveying. So I'm going to need my survey ship or one of those drones.